Alrighty, Miss Amber. Hey there. We're going to talk about your paper today and how to change some of the formatting. All right. So the main thing here is you have the hanging indentation throughout. Okay. And the other thing is that you pretty much only have two paragraphs. So if we thought of this as one paragraph, and then the next one is the conclusion. So we got to fix that as well. All right. So the easiest way, we highlight everything. And then in Microsoft Word, there's this paragraph option, and it's got a little drop down. And when you hover over it, it says paragraph settings. So when you click on that, see where it says special? Right here, it says hanging. You want this for your works cited page. You do not want it for the rest of your paper. What you do want for the rest of your paper is either we could say none or we could say first line. If we do first line, in this case, it'll reverse those two indentations, which is what we want. So now it looks more like a normal paper in that respect. All right. So I'll delete that later. All right. So you have in here some different statements like I understand that or I believe. And we're going to take those things out because, again, this is an explanation paper. And the goal is to give the most objective and unbiased view of the topic and both sides of it, and allow the reader to decide what they would like to do. So if I take that out, most people believe college athletes should not be paid because they already receive athletic scholarships. Scholarships help pay for tuition, books, housing, and many other educational expenses. However, and then you have I believe, but if I took that out and I just said, however, college athletes should still receive compensation because of the hard work, dedication. I'm going to put in here, however, others believe, because we want to generalize it to many people. You have most people. College athletes should still receive compensation because of their hard work, dedication, and sacrifices they make every day while representing their schools. Here I put in many people believe college athletes should be compensated because they spend countless hours training, practicing, working out, and traveling to competitions. Along with athletics, they must attend classes, complete assignments, and maintain good academic standing. Because a college athlete is like working full time while earning a degree. All their hard work deserves recognition. So I'm trying to think here, what is this is actually your thesis. Now that I'm reading it again. Okay. So this really is your thesis. And this is the beginning of a body paragraph. And this is the beginning of what I think is another body paragraph. Okay. I'm going to take out most because you have to back that up with some sort of evidence to show that. You can say some people believe college athletes should not be paid because they already receive athletic scholarships. Scholarships help pay for tuition, books, housing, and many other educational expenses. However, others believe college athletes should still receive compensation. So this is really an extended thesis, and there's no introduction. So we would need some sort of introduction, and I would actually combine and streamline these sentences just to make your thesis statement. I don't want you to go and change that right now, but just be aware that there isn't actually an introduction to this paper. So then this would be the first topic sentence. So many people believe college athletes should be compensated because they spend countless hours training, practicing, comma, working out, and traveling to competitions. If we didn't have that comma there, it sounds like they're practicing working out, which is not what you mean to say, right? Along with athletics, they must attend classes, complete assignments, and maintain good academic standing. Being a college athlete is like working full time while earning a degree. Although hard work deserves recognition beyond just receiving a scholarship. When you have two authors, you spell out the word and. Your paper is in MLA format, so you do not need the dates. College athletes also make many personal sacrifices. They often miss the yada yada. All right. Another reason some people believe college athletes should be paid is because they risk serious injuries every time they compete. Some injuries can end an athlete's career, their athlete season, or even their career. All right, and go on. Many student athletes. This is just a redundancy of phrases, so we'll take that out. Still must pay for food, transportation, clothing, and other personal needs. At the same time, college and NCAA earn millions of dollars from ticket sales, television contracts, sponsorships, merchandise, and other sources of revenue. It would be really great if you had a source actually provide how much money these colleges make off of these athletes and compare that to how much they charge for tuition. Okay. It would probably show a pretty good profit margin for the colleges. That would help a lot. Otherwise, there's no source in this paragraph, so it comes across as simply being your opinion. And you don't want that. So without athletes, schools would not generate as much income. This is one of the biggest reasons college athletes should receive. This is one of the biggest reasons why some people believe college athletes should receive compensation. You put in here, I also understand the opposing point. Again, it's not about personal opinion, so we have to take that out. And then I think because this is bolded, I must have added it, or maybe I just highlighted it just because I thought that this was a topic sentence. All right. So many people believe athletic scholarships are already worth thousands of dollars and provide enough compensation. Alrighty? So good, we'll unhighlight that. Others worry that paying college athletes could shift the focus of college sports away from education and toward making money. In addition, the NCAA now allows athletes to earn money through name and image and likeness opportunities. Name and image. And likeness opportunities, giving them another way to earn income without schools paying them directly. So you have the National Collegiate Athletics Association. Let's go to that source. I'm going to guess that this is the title. So this is what we would use for the in-text citation. When you do not have an author, you use a shortened version of the title so that I know as the reader, if I want to find out more about this information, I can look for this in your works cited page. This you get into personal opinion again. So we're going to delete it. Many schools may not have enough revenue to pay every athlete equally, and there are questions about how much each athlete should receive. And you say the article helped me understand, again, not about personal opinion. The Pew Research Center also found that many Americans support allowing athletes to be paid. This shows that the people recognize how much athletes contribute to their schools and how much money college sports generate. So this is the title of the work. Again, because this is an MLA, it should be an MLA format because the rest of your paper is in MLA. So we're going to use a shortened version of the title. So we're going to say Americans largely support because the Pew Research Center has so much information that telling me it's from the Pew Research Center doesn't help me, doesn't point to a specific source. And so any instructor is going to be like, that's not actually cited properly because I don't know where it came from. Now what we're missing is we need a transition sentence that tells me that we've been talking about the fact that there's enough compensation. And now we're going to talk about how they're pressured through performance. So with athletics, while athletic scholarships are worth a substantial amount, there's also the issue of the pressure to perform. Another reason college athletes should receive compensation is the pressure they face to perform well, both academically and athletically. Student athletes are expected to maintain good grades while practicing, traveling, and competing throughout the season. Another thing that's really important is if a talented athlete gets injured, sometimes it will just completely drop them, and now all of a sudden they have to pay that scholarship back. That would have been great information again to cite. Many have little free time compared to other students. The stress of balancing schoolwork and athletics can affect their physical and mental well being. So it would be nice to know if that came from a source, and having a source to support that will give this statement credibility. Otherwise, it comes across as opinion. All right. So I would recommend having a source for this. Paying college would, I think you mean athletes, recognize them for the commitment and responsibility they take on while representing the schools. Okay. Overall. So again, you want to leave your personal opinion out because the goal here is to let the reader decide. College athletes practice long hours, maintain physical condition, make personal scars. I'm not sure what you meant by that. I think you meant maybe sacrifices. And with serious injuries while representing their schools. Scholarships are important, helpful. That If they do not cover every other expense or change the fact that athletes help schools earn millions of dollars each year. For these reasons, so you get into personal opinion again. So again, the goal here is to let the reader decide. This is a complicated issue. And we can leave it as simple as that. Okay. So the biggest thing I say is not getting enough mileage out of your sources. All right. You want to make sure that whatever you quote or whatever you paraphrase is worthwhile. So, like having that information about how much is their scholarship worth versus how many millions does it cost or does the school make? Like in comparison, what percentage is it? For scholarships? Is it 10%? Is it, that'd be interesting to know. Color editing. All right. Here's the other issue. The only citation that you have that's in any sort of format is this one. And this is where you want to do hanging indentation. However, it shouldn't have the and, the ampersand. This one is sort of an APA format. Because this has page numbers, these are actually what should be in your in-text citation. So those do not appear. Now you could either use Sanderson, Sigford, but if you paraphrase something, regardless, the page number should be there as well. In case for paying college athletes, you're gonna capitalize every word. Journals are italicized. Right? All of these, you have to get the works cited. I would go back to these articles, whatever. Let's see if we can pull this up. So this doesn't really seem to be about whether or not to pay college athletes. So let's say we use this one instead. All right, college athlete compensation. The easiest way to do your citations when you don't feel comfortable with them is to copy the URL, and then we go to citation machine. And we want to select MLA. It's a website. I'm going to paste the website in here. It says, is this the website you're talking about? Looks like the same thing. Yes. It says, hey, we don't know who the publisher or sponsor are or the date that it's published. When I go back to that article, we have July 31st, 2019, and the NCPA is the publisher. Okay. So copy the citation. Now I'm going to go back to your paper. Since we couldn't find a Pew Research one, I just did something different. Just for the sake of showing you how to do that, okay? So to earn a grade on this paper, I need you to fix these two things. You have to find these articles again and cite them. So do exactly what I did. Find a URL, put it in the citation machine, make sure it's an MLA 9, okay? And then paste it here. Your works cited page should be on its own page. So you'll have room. All right. And I hope all of that helps. Thanks for trying to meet with me today.